Hey guys, welcome back to my video about my workbench. This is part two, and it'll include a couple things that I forgot about this setup. And at the end, I'm going to do a health update for you. It'll explain, oh yeah, I'm giving you the finger again. Oops, sorry. It'll explain a lot. One of the things I forgot to mention in part one of this video was my test equipment. Right now, this Heathkit capacitor tester is on my workbench, but it doesn't stay there. We'll talk about that device more in a minute because it led to me realizing something terrible, just terrible. But normally it sits right there, okay? I've got my anti-shake turned on. I'm pretty shaky today. It's too early for me. Plus I'm old. But that cap checker sits there. And none of those test devices will be on the workbench. There will be nothing on the workbench. Right now, everything on there is there so I can show you. So the only things that stay on this workbench are my Variac, my isolation transformer, and my dim bulb tester. For servicing this old stuff, you can get by without a Variac. Really don't need it as long as you've got a dim bulb device and a collection of light bulbs of various wattage ratings so you can vary the series ballast with your device under test. My isolation transformer, I'm whistling, I'll try to stop that. My isolation transformer is rated at 115 volts. Or thereabouts. This little digital panel meter is 1 volt low. But it's ideal because all of this vintage electronics, these old radios, run on 115 volts. It proved to be ideal. And finally in series is my dim bulb tester. So the combination of the dim bulb tester and the Variac lets you conveniently and easily reform electrolytic capacitors for testing. But again, you can do the same without the Variac, as long as you have a collection of various light bulbs to screw into your dim bulb socket. Okay? So those three things will stay there on the bench. And when I'm working on all of this stuff, and this stuff, and this, and this, check this out. I think I've showed it before. It's a oh boy, I think I'd be lying to you if I told you, but I think it's a 1939 Ward's Airline model. Boy, I'd have to tell you. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll make a video about this in the future. I want to restore it. You look at the cabinet is perfect. It's never been refinished. The original finish is utterly perfect on this thing. It's shocking. What that is a farm radio. Farm radios from that era ran on 6 volts DC. And the power cable has a pair of big alligator clamps. It's made to run on your tractor battery. Oh, the terrible news. The terrible, terrible news that came out of that speaker. Oh my God. Right now, man, I've got tingles in my hands and in my neck from thinking about it. Oh my God. So that's my workbench. What I think I'm going to do here, guys, that's my Heathkit Novice and General Class Dream Station from 1970, as I explained before. Where was I going with I'm taking on a tour, a shaky tour. You know what you call a radio like that? Check it out. Doesn't even have a frequency dial on it. They call that a coffin radio. Coffin. For obvious reasons. Check it out. It's an Atwater Kent Model 40. Look at the badge. It's in perfect shape. This is in nicer condition than any other Kent Model 40 I've seen on YouTube. It's unreal. I'll show it off in another video. If anyone wants it, you can buy it. Cheap. The shipping won't be cheap. um, yeah, right on. So let's see, we talked about my test gear. We talked about the other items on the bench and the fact that they won't be there. Uh, my test gear. Check it out. None of this stuff would I use for a solid state servicing. Well, maybe the signal generator, but nah. Nice ICO signal tracer needs restoration. Nice Lafayette radio signal generator. I'll sell it. If anyone wants to buy it, needs restoration, might work. I've never plugged it in. I use my Heathkit signal generator. What's that old Sesame Street song? One of these things isn't like the other. One of these things is not the same. Which one is it, guys? Which one doesn't belong? One of these things isn't like the other. One of these things is. Oh, what an idiot I am. Okay. Let me pause this phone and let me think for a moment before I get on to my health update. I hear Blitzy. Blitzy. Oh, here I go with my Blitzy talk. I hear Blitzy. Blitzy. Hi. I'm going to pause you. Let him outside. I know what I wanted to mention. I think I'm going to be moving all of this stuff right here. Boy, the lighting in here is just awful. Hang on. I closed the drapes. That's better. Plus, I wiped all the fingerprints off my camera lens. I think, so obviously all this stuff, I just lined it up there to show you guys. It'll be going in this side room, in my little storage room, which in itself would have made a really cute little ham shack, closet of a ham shack. But I'm going to be moving the cabinetry and that E.H. Scott console radio and my printer. And I'm going to relocate my ham station to my workroom. Restorations on this side, ham shack on this side. And I don't want to open the curtains because I'll just wash the phone out with light. But when I look out out that sliding door, I see my Michigan cacti. Because the way it is right now, guys, I think we can all agree that in my laundry room, I'm not ashamed. Well, I am ashamed, but I'm not too proud to show you. I might bullshit with you guys, but I won't bullshit you guys. Maybe if I clean my ham desk off and unbury it. Okay, we're almost ready. And put it there, then I'll use it again. Okay. Ah, boy, this is the hard part. This video is unedited. I'm not going to add any text overlays. I'm not going to do any fun stuff with it or funny stuff with it. I'm just going to record. I'm going to shoot and post. I haven't sat in this chair yet. I've been afraid to. Why have I been afraid to? Why did I put that bookcase there instead of putting a shelf on the wall for my test gear? I'm afraid to. I don't want to. Because I want Kyle to come home. I'm going to try not to get overly emotional. I want Kyle to come home and make this his workroom again. I want to keep this room so that I can just unload it in an afternoon, in a day's time, or a weekend, and give it back to Kyle. Where'd Kyle go? Oh boy. Hang on. Okay, guys. We gotta have a talk. Oh, this chair's way too low. Oh my God. These are my head meds. One's an antidepressant, one's an antipsychotic agent, typically prescribed for epilepsy and seizures. I've had psychotic breaks where I have something happen. This chair leans back. Nice. I have psychotic breaks. I've had 5 or 6 of them now. And when that happens, it's lights out. I remember what I'm up to, and then blink, the incident's over with. I have no memory. I have a chunk of missing time and memory. Some pretty bad stuff. Not violent stuff, but pretty scary stuff for my family. And oh my God, I think I left off with an incident I shared with you in the kitchen when I was making breakfast for Kyle. He dearly loves my imitation sausage and egg McMuffin. A sausage and egg muffin on an English muffin with cheese. They're delicious. I made the egg. I microwaved the sausage patty. I toasted the bun, the muffin. I had the slice of cheese already. And I couldn't remember how to put it together. I stood there looking at it, mystified, not sure really what I was supposed to do with it all. And I yelled for Kyle, and he came to the kitchen, and I told him that, Kyle, I can't remember how to put this together. Something happened. Something's wrong. And this was early in the morning. I had yet another TIA that night. Oh, well, that changed that morning. And I told Kyle, I can't remember how to put this together. Something's wrong. Something happened. And he really didn't know what to say. And I sat down on the kitchen floor and started crying. And then I asked for his help to put it together. That's where I left off with my health and welfare video. Until Kyle left in utter fear and terror. Now I'm going to run through the incident real quick. I was out here in my office in the garage, sitting here. Kyle was changing the wheels on his new car, taking the winter wheels off, putting his summer wheels back on. And he suddenly walked into the house, and I have a lot of thought errors, and I thought he was angry at me for whatever reason. I thought he was angry at me and he couldn't take me anymore, and he stormed off into the house. When the reality was just that he had finished his work and he went in the house to wash his hands, right? I have not been well for the last couple of years. I've been going through continual doctor changes. And every time, I went through this 4 times in a year and a half. And every time I had a doctor leave the practice, I'd have to schedule an appointment with a new one before I could get my head meds or any other meds refilled, causing me to run out of them and crashing me mentally yet again. Well, when this incident happened and Kyle headed for the house, I remember walking through this door. This house is so dirty. I remember standing in the kitchen, and the next thing I remember, now something happened in there, but then, so I remember walking through here into the kitchen, and the next thing I remember, I'm walking back out into the garage. I was out here for about 30 seconds when Kyle hit the road. He bolted, and I ran to the garage door to try to stop him to see what the hell was going on. He wasn't having any of it. He was out of here. And whatever happened in the kitchen, whatever I said, so terrified him that he ran for his life. I'm being very honest with you guys. This is not easy to talk about. And I won't include any more personal detail from there. But later, a couple hours later, he came back and he had some friends, we'll call them friends, that helped him gather a few things that he needed, and he hasn't been back since. I won't tell you where he went or why. Well, that's partly why, but he was already planning to move. He didn't tell me that. I didn't know this at the time, but he was already starting to make plans to move. He had funner, bigger, his sights set on funner, bigger things in life. And that makes me happy. He's very happy. He's having a good time. He's in Florida on a vacation right now. We talk, we're friends. But my mental state reached such a point he could no longer live with me. And that day he left in fear. Oof. Let me think for a minute. And that is with me right now. The antipsychotic med, I'm on the same dosage that I was on when that happened. I need to increase the dosage. It used to be twice that, but needs to go back to that. But I've had other equally serious issues to deal with my doctor the past couple months, which I've been doing. And then, guys, so that's the deal with Kyle. That's why my new workroom, okay? And then I'd like to share something with you that scared the living shit out of me and still does. Thus, the reason for my upcoming neurological workup, which I requested from my doctor. So I knew I had my workbench here, right? I went and I found several notebooks that I have. All of the items with a check mark I've gone through. I know what they need for restoration electrically, right? I just have to order the parts for each of the checked items. I knew I had this notebook and I went and I found it in my nightmare of a bedroom where my other bench is. And, and, oh boy, I started looking at this. See, I looked at my Heathkit capacitor checker. I've been wanting to restore this in the worst way. Just I've been wanting to restore it in the worst way, along with my Heathkit TC2 tube checker. That. Then I looked on this and it's like, oh, I've already gone through it. I already know what it needs. It's written down in here. And then I got, what about my Heath kit? It's like, that's not even written down on the book. Why not? And then, guys, I started poking around. Oops, I'm sorry. I just turned it on. I started poking around, bringing stuff in here. And I came across this. Scared the shit out of me. Heathkit C3 OEM parts? Really? Hang on. I love the green magic eyes. But I started looking around and I came, what the hell? Heathkit C3 OEM parts. Really? I looked at the bag. I figured, well, maybe it's just a power cord. Hey, nope. All the old-fashioned caps and everything. It's like, no. This has been restored? By who? When? It's like, no, surely I stuck a resistor. You can measure resistors up to a point with it, too. I stuck a resistor. This is my RF attenuator. This is the other one. So I can run 100 milliwatts or 1 watt with my Yaesu. So I can do some serious QRPP work after I get my ham shack moved in here. And it's got to happen soon, too. The bug bit. I grabbed a cap, checked it. Yeah, hey, it's perfectly accurate. Oh my God, I have no memory of restoring this device. All I have any memory of is being desperately wanting to. Oh, and guys, no, that scares the shit out of me. But overall, so many things now feel like it's me, but a different me. Are my interests the same as they used to be? Even? Kinda, but kinda not. All the interest is there. Guys, it feels like there's two me's now. The me that loves things and is interested in things and does things, and then the me that knows that guy very, very well. I know that guy very well. Oh my God. Oh my God. So that scared the crap out of me. This was a little concerning. I've already gone through this and know what it needs. It needs a chart mechanism worked on. It's not reliable, not even close. This is this is a video. Well, before I show you, I pause you. I've got the light turned off. You want to see something that scared the crap out of me? I got a comment on my phone. Sometimes I won't see a comment unless my phone notifies me that, and it doesn't do that very often, but every now and then one pops through the fog, right? And I got somebody thanking me for doing this video. He had the same problem. And I'm like, what? So I just typed NANK Firefox into the search bar to see what he's talking about. And yup, sure enough, I have zero memory of that happening. I have no memory of that extension problem killing my computer. I watched the video. It's like, holy shit, really? No memory of it. No memory of making the video even. So there you go. I got to wrap this up. I'm going to try to post this before I go to mow Nancy's lawn today. Hello, Michigan cacti. He needs a little love. Hello, future QTH. I hope you're well, guys. I'm sorry this grew so long, so terribly long. There's a million things I wanted to say and haven't. I jotted down some notes because I've been very nervous about this. Very nervous about this. But I left the notes in the other room, probably just as well. I tend to do better when I just babble. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. Hang on, I paused. Ran across this video a few weeks ago. 16 words per minute POTA with a Zygo G90, huh? It's like, yeah, okay, I just checked this out. And my man here, oh my God, we gotta talk, guys. We gotta talk about iambic keying. I'm utterly mystified, and I want to know how you key your damn keyer. We'll talk more about that in a future video. I like this guy. I do like this guy. What's his channel name? He's only got 352 subs. Coax and camp stools. I like it. I like it. 352 subs, huh? Hey guys, let's let's launch a campaign against this guy or for this guy. Coax and camp stools. Let's take to his channel and leave a comment. Just simple. Blozo the humble ham sent me. You'll be like, what the It's a campaign of love. Let's spread the love, guys. Spread the love. Thanks for all your love. Thanks for putting up with me. How should I end this? One of these things isn't like the other. One of these things is not the same. Cast your votes. Thank you, every one of you, for giving me a chance to be me. Blitzen and I love you, and we care about you. I'm shaky with emotion. Bye, guys.